Welcome to the Trippy Commentaries Super Bowl Fantasy Draft. It'll be RJ versus Kyle in this one. It'll be an epic fantasy draft. Here's the rules. We're going to pick all of the players in the upcoming Super Bowl. Of course, the Denver Broncos versus the Seattle Seahawks. Going to be a lot of good offensive weapons for Denver for us to choose. A lot of really baller defensive players from the Seahawks that we're going to want to pick high. So we'll see how it pans out. What are you thinking, Kyle? I think this is going to be pretty close.
It's going to be tough, man. I mean, because, we only have two teams to choose from here.
Exactly.
So,
but both teams are completely stacked, and, a lot of these players are household names, so really makes it interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of well-known players and very good players on each team, so it's definitely going to be a lot of choices, even though we only have two teams to pick from.
Exactly. And, of course, we'll see how the players do in the Super Bowl. And after that, we will all look at both of our teams and see who actually picked the better team, or in this case, drafted the better team. So we'll just go ahead and start off with some rock, paper, scissors. That'll decide who has the first pick in the draft. And, we'll go from there and see how it goes. We have Retro Brett on standby as a judge, just in case anything gets a little crazy.
Yep.
So he'll make sure everything's nice and clean. So here we go.
I want a good, clean match.
All right, here it is. RPS right now. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And I am victorious. I have the rock. I have crushed Kyle's scissors into a puny piece of rubble. And now I have to decide who the first pick of the draft will be.
Pretty obvious.
I disagree completely. I disagree 100% that it's obvious. Are you kidding me? It's not obvious at all. Holy fuck.
It's totally obvious.
Both teams have such good talent.
I am going with Earl Thomas as my number one overall pick. You heard that right. Earl Thomas as my safety. He's going to hold down the whole fucking fort for my entire team that will vanquish Team K-Mac. Kyle?
That's really your first pick?
That's my first pick, man. I'm going with Earl Thomas. What you going to say about it?
Oh, I'm going to go with Peyton Manning. And
Peyton Manning, all right.
absolutely destroy you in this competition.
All right, so Kyle takes Peyton Manning, which means I am automatically given Russell Wilson.
All right.
My first name is Russell, so it's probably a good thing that I went with my boy Russ. That leads to my pick here, and I'm going to go with... Oh, fuck. I can't believe you didn't take this guy. I'm going with him. I am taking the Shermanator, Richard Sherman. I'll take the whole Legion of Boom. Fuck it. Give me Richard Sherman. He's on the RJ squad.
RJ with an interesting approach here, trying to go defensive players.
I would have thought that since quarterbacks are the most important position, they would go first.
True, good point. But I have Russell Wilson. I can't complain.
Very happy that I'm going to be able to pick this guy as my second pick, and that is going to be the beast mode, Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, good choice. Good choice. I should have probably went with fucking Marshawn Lynch. But that said, I'm going to take Demaryius Thomas with this pick. So I now have Demaryius Thomas. K-Mac has Peyton Manning and Marshawn Lynch.
Yep. And you got two very good defensive.
Just to put it out there, we'll each have to draft two running backs. So keep that in mind.
Yep. I'm going to for my fourth pick here, third pick. Excuse me.
This is your third pick.
Third pick.
You have a quarterback and a running back.
To go with. Oh, I still got receivers I can pick as well. Oh, I have them. My number 2 pick, who I think is going to be a big player in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Orange, Julius Thomas.
Julius Thomas. I figured you would pick him. That's one of the reasons why I picked Earl Thomas, because I'm going to put Earl Thomas on that big tight end you got there, and hopefully he can hold him down. Obviously, we'll figure that out in the Super Bowl. We'll see if that works.
We'll see about that.
So Julius Thomas off the board.
He's
on Team K-Mac, which means, unfortunately, Zach Miller is shoved on my team. I'm forced to use Zach Miller. That's okay. I got Russell Wilson. At least I'll have some chemistry. And that's going to lead to my next pick, where I'm going to go with I'm going to take Bobby Wagner as my inside linebacker. That means Wesley Woodyard is automatically put on Kyle's team to be his inside linebacker. Bobby Wagner is going to hold down the middle of my linebackers.
That's okay with me. I'm fine with that. I like Wesley Woodyard. I think he's a great player. He's kind of that leader of that linebacking core.
Yeah, I guess. He had a bad season, but the players like him.
And you know Seattle's going to run the ball a lot, so he's going to be racking up tackles.
Yeah, good luck stopping my guys.
So, going in that fashion, I think I'm going to switch over to the defense here, and I am going to go with Mr. Cam Chancellor.
Ah, you fuck.
As my strong safety.
All right, you
He's
took
laying people
one
out.
of my Legion of Boom guys, so you got one.
I had to get somebody in there. Eventually.
Yeah, but now I'm going to start going hardcore on you because guess who I got now? None other than Mr. Dominic Rogers Camardi.
Okay.
That's right. I got the Shermanator and DRC on my squad. What you going to do about it?
That's fine. So that automatically gives me...
No, not yet. There's still more. We each have 3 cornerbacks.
Oh, 3, okay.
So you don't have automatically anything right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't. You might want to not end up with Quentin Jammer.
No, actually, my next pick is going to be...
Who's it going to be?
It's a tough call here. Cause a guy who I think is going to have a big game. He's got to step up for his offense going against the Legion of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say I'm going to have all the offensive players of the Broncos. But I'm going for my second wide receiver,
Really?
Mr. Eric Decker.
That's fine. Take
Broncos
him.
offense is a fine choice. They're record-setting 606 points throughout the season.
Yep, good point, Retro Brett. Absolutely. So Eric Decker is off the board. He goes over to Team Kyle, and that leaves me with. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Denver Broncos offensive line.
Okay.
So they're on my squad, which means you don't have the entire Bronco offense. You're gonna have to deal with the Seahawks offensive line. I'm sure we both like them. I mean, you have Russell Okung as well as the center Max Unger.
Yeah.
But obviously I have the better offensive line.
Yep. All right, so my next pick, I'm going to go with the guy I've been talking about all year, Mr. Danny Trevathan.
Oh, finally got a linebacker. Nice.
Yep.
All right, so now you're going to have, of course, you were forced to take Wesley Woodyard,
Yep.
but you'll put the baller, Danny Trevathan, the rookie baller, right next to him, and I like that quite a bit.
120 tackles.
Touche. All right, so that leaves me with the next pick, and I'm going to have to take... I got to do it. I got to take the big guy, Terrence Knighton. I want that big guy on my defensive line. Had a huge game last week against the Pats, or actually 2 weeks at this point. So I'm taking Terrence Knighton.
Oof. All right. RJ's going to be picking scraps up on offense. We're going 3 wide receivers, right?
Yep.
All right, my next pick is going to be Mr. Doug Baldwin. I think he's going to be the standout receiver for Seattle. I know there's a lot of talk about Percy Harvin, but dude hasn't shown me nothing all year.
Doug Baldwin, nice.
Doug Baldwin had a huge game last in the championship
Mm-hmm.
and the NFC championship. Had over 100 yards receiving.
I can't
go to my receiving core.
Yeah, can't argue with you there. So that's going to round up your receiver core. Keep in mind, I have Demaryius Thomas. Don't forget about that.
That's
but
one guy.
You have Eric Decker, Doug Baldwin, and that's it. So you still need one more receiver. That's it. So you only have those 2 guys. You do have Julius Thomas.
Yeah, Julius Thomas.
Of course, I have Demaryius Thomas, so I'm okay with that. All right, so I think I have to take this guy. I really, I don't want to, but I don't want you to completely block me here. Yeah. So I'm forced to take Noshawn Moreno. I like Moreno a lot. He's a guy who I think could have a big game in the Super Bowl. Honestly, I think either Moreno or Monty Ball will come through pretty good in the Super Bowl. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take Moreno as my number 1 guy.
And I'm going to follow up with getting Monty Ball as my number 2 running back.
You know what? I'm happy you did that because I want to make a point that I will take Mr. Robert Turbin, a.k.a. Beast Mode Jr. If you've seen... anybody who's listening to this, please... When you watch the Super Bowl and you see Robert Turbin, make sure to look at his arms because that guy is straight juiced.
He's juiced, but I think Monty Ball is probably going to have more carries in this game than no Sean Moreno.
He
Just
will.
throwing it out
Absolutely.
Really?
Well, really.
Quite a prediction.
That is quite a prediction. Of course, no Sean Moreno is a little banged up, so we'll see how much he plays. But so that'll leave me with Robert Turbin. Of course, I have no Sean Moreno. And now I'm going to have to make another pick where I think this is a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going to go with my guy, Chris Clemens, on the defensive line. That's going to give me Terrence Knighton and Chris Clemens on the DL defensive line. I'll take it.
That's fine with me. I wasn't even going to pick any defensive end from Seattle just because of how good Peyton Manning is at getting the ball out quick. Number 1 team this year, not getting sacked.
Good luck with that Seahawks offensive line.
I'm going with the opposite side. I'm going Sean Phillips to be all over Russell Wilson.
Sean Phillips, okay. All right. You took Sean Phillips over a guy I actually like a little bit better than him, and I'm going to take him right now, and that's Michael Bennett. I want Michael Bennett on the other side. I see him making some plays.
Yeah, but I don't see them sacking the quarterback, man.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, I mean, we're going to put a little bit of influence in the Super Bowl. In fact, maybe we'll put a good amount of influence in the Super Bowl here. But I think, we'll have some third-party people come and take a look at our teams, and they'll figure it out as well. All right, so what's your pick?
My next pick, I am going to go with Mr. Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey, your first cornerback.
Cornerback.
All right, Champ Bailey's off the board. And I think that's going to bring me to picking. I'm going to go with Percy Harvin. I'm going to take the wild card, team up with Demaryius Thomas. I can ride with that. I can go with that. What do you got?
I mean, hey, he's a playmaker. You never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen. That's the problem. Let's see here. Next pick for me. It's a tough one, man. We're getting down to where it's going to start getting hard now of who's left and who you want to pick.
By the way, yeah, okay, go ahead. Yep, sorry.
I think I'm going to use this opportunity to round off my receiving core.
Oh, really? Who are you going with? I'm interested to see because there's 2 guys left. Which one are you going with? They're both pretty good.
I'm going Wes Welker.
Are you? Okay.
Wes Welker to get me a touchdown.
All right, so you're going with Wes Welker. I'm okay with that because
I'm calling like 30 to 50 yards receiving and a touchdown, which for
sounds
fantasy,
about right.
That's good, man.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Now that's going to force me to take Golden Tate, which I'm okay with because I'm going to put him back there on punt returns, maybe kickoff returns. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
That brings it back to my side.
I thought you were taking.
No.
Oh, you get him automatically.
I'm forced to take the Golden Tate, and I'm going to go with Mr. Duke Iheanacho.
All right.
So he's going to be my other safety with Earl Thomas. I'm going to team those guys up, and of course I have DRC as well as the Shermanator. Good luck. I don't care if you have Peyton Manning. By the way, that is going to put the Denver safety Mike Adams onto your squad.
Yeah,
so you have
that's
him.
what I was just looking at. I'm gonna have Mike Adams, which I'm okay with that. I think he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take this opportunity just to scoop him up because I need one. I'm going to go with Mr. Byron Maxwell as my other cornerback.
I figured you would do that, and he's a good player too.
So I'm happy. I got 2 out of Legion of Boom right now. That's making me feel pretty good right now.
So you have
that way if he does
okay
happen to intercept Peyton Manning.
All right, and I'm gonna make this pick just because I don't want Quentin Jammer on my team. I refuse to take Quentin Jammer. I think that guy's washed up. So I'm going to take Walter Thurman. He's going to be my nickelback, and Quentin Jammer's going to be on the K-Max squad.
Okay.
Who are you going with now?
Right now I'm going to go to D-tackle. I'm going to go to this man beast of a D-tackle, Mr. Tony McDaniel.
I figured you were going to do that. Tony McDaniel. Okay, so you do need a DT, and now you got one.
Yep.
Tony McDaniel off the board. All right. By the way, you also, another guy you have on your squad is Malik Jackson. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, you're right. I do get Malik Jackson.
Yeah, he's all yours, buddy.
I got both the DNs for the Broncos. That's fine. I mean, you got both the DNs for Seattle, so it works out that way.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to go ahead and take. I think I'm going to have to go with big Sylvester Williams. I'm going to take the other defensive tackle for the Broncos.
He's a beast, man.
Which means Brandon Mebane is going to be your second defensive tackle.
That's fine. My next pick that I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take who I think is the better linebacker out of the two. I'm going to go with Nate Irving to be my strong side.
Really? So you like Nate Irving better than Bruce Irving?
I do like
Interesting.
better than Bruce Irvin. I'm going to take Irving over Irvin.
Interesting. Okay, so you took Nate Irving. That's going to round up your linebacking crew. I'll take Malcolm Smith. He made the big pick last
Actually,
week.
that's kind of interesting. I have all of the Broncos linebackers.
You do, and I have the Seahawks linebacking crew.
Interesting how that worked out.
I'll take it. So that's going to leave me with none other than Bruce Irvin, Bobby Wagner, and Malcolm Smith as my linebacking crew. And as you said, that is the Seahawk number one defense linebacking crew. That is going to leave me with the last pick in the draft, which means I get to pick who I prefer for kicker.
Yeah, I guess you do have that last pick, yep.
Yep. So I'm going to go with my boy Matt Prater. Freaking record-setting kick this year.
He's been a little sick lately, man.
Whatever. Come on, it's the Super Bowl, dude.
I think it's hilarious how the
NyQuil.
media, like, oh, he didn't practice today. I'm like, it's a kicker. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if a kicker misses all week. He knows how to kick football. Like,
Guy might as well be a robot.
he's not studying film on at this stadium, I need to kick the ball this certain angle on these field goals.
All right, so that's it. The draft is done. Quick recap here. So Kyle's team is going to be led by the soon-to-be-named MVP, Peyton Manning.
Best quarterback all time.
We'll see. Oh, God. We have to have a TripComms discussing that because I definitely want to talk about that. But I'll have Russell Wilson, and that's the guy I wanted going into this. I think he's a playmaker. Obviously, Manning, come on, guys, complete beast monster.
Yep.
But I'm happy with Russell Wilson as well. Now, I'm going to have Sean Moreno and Robert Turbin as my running back crew. I will say, obviously, I think you have the not much better running back crew, but certainly the better running back crew. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if Moreno had a better game. Just because Seattle has shown that they can be weak to the run every once in a while. But beast mode, none of us are doubting him. I mean,
right.
That guy might and probably will blow up. Moving on to tight ends, Kyle got Julius Thomas, Orange Julius. I am stuck with Zach Miller. I got the best receiver. I got Demaryius Thomas, so that's saying quite a bit.
He did get the best receiver, but he's also going to be put on the best cornerback in the league. So
who's also on my team.
Who's also on your team, but if they cancel each other out where he doesn't get any catches and he's not making any tackles, that's going to screw you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Obviously, we've heard lately that they might not be on every time, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But that's going to give me Demaryius Thomas, Percy Harvin, and Golden Tate, and K-Max got Decker, Welker, and Baldwin. So very interesting there. I have the Broncos O-line, and Kyle's got the Seahawks O-line. So, slight win for me there. On the defensive line, I'm going to have Chris Clemens, Michael Bennett, Sylvester Williams, and Terrence Knighton. It's pretty good defensive line.
You got the Seattle exterior and the Denver interior, which is...
pretty good. You got to admit, that's a pretty good draft by me for as far as defensive line is concerned. Kyle got Malik Jackson, Sean Phillips, Tony McDaniel, and big Brandon Mebane. Linebacking crew, K-Mac came out with Trevathan, guy we like quite a bit, Danny Trevathan. The Rook, Wesley Woodyard, the vet, and Nate Irving, the other Broncos safety there. And linebacker, thank you. And I got Bruce Irvin, big Bobby Wagner, and Malcolm Smith, who made the big pick against the 49ers off of Shermanator's pick. Speaking of the Shermanator, I have Richard Sherman on my team, as well as Walter Thurman and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. My defense is beastly. You can't stop it.
Your number one pick in the draft, Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas.
Free safety.
That's right.
That's all right because I like my defensive backs just as much.
Yep. So Kyle's cornerbacks are Byron Maxwell, Champ Bailey, and unfortunately you got to throw Quentin Jammer out there. And our safeties, I have the Dookie Nacho, teamed up with my number one overall pick, Earl Thomas. That's right.
Yep.
And K-Mac is going to send Cam Chancellor, the hard-hitting safety, with Mike Adams. So that's it. That's the draft. Of course, I have Matt Prater. K-Mac Hauschka. Thank you guys for tuning in to the, I guess this is the 2014 Super Bowl Fantasy Draft here at TripComms. And we'll catch you next time. We'll see who won. We'll come back to this later and figure it out. But thank you guys for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out. TripComms was filmed before a live studio audience.